This question's for Dana. Dana in the back over here. Talked a little bit about Brock's performance tonight. You were giving him a lot of props leading up to this fight, potentially being the greatest heavyweight champion in the history of the UFC. Can you talk a bit about that performance and going up and down the UFC's heavyweight roster? What's next for this guy?
Yeah, I'm blown away by his performance. Like I said, he gets better every time. Everybody in this room knows how great Frank Mir is at submissions. You know, if you even get near that guard, you get submitted. Let's face it. Brock stayed out of submissions. He did a ton of damage. I mean, Frank's face was busted up the first time they landed on the ground in the fight. This guy is a phenomenal athlete. He gets better every time, and he might be the greatest heavyweight champion in history.
Hey, Dana, to your right. I wanted to ask you about your comment you said earlier about television, and I know Brock is a huge pay-per-view monster, and that was, shown. But what do you think he could do if you put him on free TV and let the public see him for free one time? And is that something that you would, kind of like Muhammad Ali was on ABC so much? Could he be that guy? And could you see yourself doing that?
Yeah, we've done that. I've taken it on the chin a few times with putting big fights on free TV. And I believe you have to do it. I totally believe it.
Specifically him, though.
Yeah. I mean, I would specifically put anybody, specifically him. You know what I mean? He's a huge superstar, too. I mean, there could be anybody that we could do it with, yeah. I wouldn't, if you're asking me would I be opposed to it? No, I wouldn't. I'd have to work it out with these guys financially, but yeah, I'd be into doing it.
And then Dana, given the success that this card had, and it seems like the increase in interest in mixed martial arts, do you think that might lead to television, more free TV? I know you have a number of cards already, but do you think it might lead to on other networks or more on Spike?
I'm sorry, Kev. Start that. What was the?
I'm saying, given the success that this card had in increasing the interest in mixed martial arts, do you think that might lead to a couple more cards on free TV, whether on other networks or Spike?
No doubt about it. No doubt about it.
Yeah, Dana, given Brock's performance tonight, the demand for a potential super match with him against obviously Fedor Emelianenko will grow. The UFC has gotten where it is by giving the fans, been very friendly.
What's funny is all the way things have always worked out for us is, this whole Fedor thing has been going on and on and on and on, and I keep saying this and that about him, and he keeps waiting, and eventually Fedor's going to be here. I want Fedor. I want him to come to the UFC and everything else. The longer it takes, this guy just became the heavyweight champion, and we'll end up getting that deal done, and then we'll do Brock versus Fedor, and it'll be a huge fight.
What's the time frame?
Who knows? He's obviously contractually obligated to fight, and then once that's over, we'll figure it out.
Dan, over here. First, to talk about, in the pre-fight press conference, you had mentioned that the winner of Bisping versus Henderson, the winner would be a likely opponent in a rematch with, or a fight with Anderson Silva. Is that something you can talk about?
He's got to go do Sports Center. What did you ask me?
We're going one late.
In the pre-fight press conference, you had talked about Michael Bisping, Dan Henderson winner, was likely to fight Anderson Silva for a middleweight title fight.
Right.
With the impressive performance of Dan Henderson, is that something that we're headed towards?
Could be, yep. Yeah, I got to get back there and see. We got to figure it out, dates, times. He's got that fight coming up in. Hey, I know you're here. He's got that fight. Well, he's fighting in August, and then we'll figure it out. We'll figure it out from there. We'll see what happens.
And then, could you talk about the heart of Mark Coleman?
Yeah, let me tell you what. Mark Coleman. Everybody was, talking about his performance against Shogun, and everybody was saying, slamming Shogun in that performance. Well, he came out. Mark Coleman's a tough guy, man. He comes to fight. He comes to win. And he pulled out a big win over Stephan Bonner tonight. Huge.
Dana, back here in the back.
Hey.
As big as this event was, 100. This is a two-part question, by the way. Was there any contemplation of maybe holding in a bigger venue like Thomas and Mack, we can hold, I think, like 18,000 people? Big demand. And then How close was this company not even making it to UFC 50?
We were, you know, we're partners with Mandalay and MGM. This is where we do our events, and we're not going anywhere. We won't be with any other venues in Las Vegas. And yeah, UFC 50, we almost didn't make it past UFC 33, which was here. You know, it's been a crazy ride, but like I've been saying all week, I'm not being very nostalgic about UFC 100 because for me, we're not even close as far as I'm concerned. There's so much more work to do, and you know, it's been a great weekend. And seriously, you know, you guys know how we work and how things go. I don't think I've ever been this exhausted as I am this week. UFC 100 kicked my ass. I don't know about the rest of my staff, but it's been a crazy week. And I believe that this event, all the publicity and buzz that was around this event has helped take us to another level. I really believe that, and there's a lot of work to do.
George, congratulations on your win.
Thank you.
Can you tell us, after you were injured, how did that affect your fighting in terms of what percentage you were at, if you could say something like that to explain how your abilities changed because of the injury?
Changed, like, for example, when I was on the guard, I couldn't attack and couldn't do much, you know, I couldn't be offensive from my guard. And standing up, I'm a fighter that uses a lot of fakes. It was part of my game plan, you know, fake. But when you fake, you come forward, and then you have to come back. But because of my injury, I could come forward, but I was not able to come back, so I was afraid to get knocked out, you know. So I don't know. It was pretty crazy what was going through my head. I came back in my corner, and some people are gonna see that on TV. They're gonna laugh because I come back in the corner and I told my trainer, I said I pulled my abductor, and my trainer, Greg Jackson, he said to me, "I don't care. Hit him with it." So I'm like, oh, okay, well, I guess I have to go back and finish that fight. That's a game plan. So I fought on it, but with the adrenaline, it's not so bad, you know. When now it's getting really bad, it's really painful, man.
Est-ce que vous pouvez dire quelque chose en français pour les gens au Québec ou votre victoire ce soir?
Oui, merci. Je tiens à remercier tous mes supporters pour la victoire. Ça a été sans aucun doute le combat le plus difficile de ma carrière et je suis très content malgré ma blessure que j'ai réussi à gagner le combat. Merci.
Dana, I was wondering if you could give an update on Bisbing's condition and where he goes from here.
Yeah, Bisbing's okay, you know. Now he's got to go do Sports Center. It's the Dan and Dana show. Here we go. What did you ask me again? Oh, where does Bisbing go from here? Bisbing's going to fight, in probably the next fight in the UK. And I don't know who's going to be. We have some ideas, but I won't tell you until I get the deal done.
Is that UK 105?
I don't know.
And then next for Dan, Dana said your post-fight comments were a joke. I was wondering if you wanted to comment on them.
Yeah, it was, you know, I think you're referring to, when I said I'd like to shut his mouth a little bit, the last punch. But, when you're in the heat of the moment, the ref hadn't stopped me yet. Who knows what's going to happen, if he's going to recover, if they're going to stop the fight. And I really only hit him twice, once on my feet, once on the ground. I didn't keep going. I didn't go after the ref tried to stop me. Nothing like that. And it was just a reaction of mine to keep going until I was stopped. And it did feel good, though.
Dana,